Welcome back to ESA Summer 21. We're raising money for Save the Children. I'll be taking over on donation reading. My name's Alex. Links to donate can be found below the stream. We'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring the event. But now it's time for MangoPunch, running Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Take it away.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. My name is MangoPunch. I'm a speedrunner of the classic RE games. And I'm going to be doing my favorite one to run at a speedrun marathon, which is RE3, which is a RNG roller coaster. So it's a lot of things that could go wrong in this run, but we're just going to have to make do with it. Before we start, we had a donation incentive for Costume Select. Do we have a clear winner for that one?
We do.
Yep.
Far and away, it is the classic.
Fantastic. Always fan favorite, that one. And also, I'll be donating $2. So every zombie in this game has a small chance of what's called going turbo, which is when they just rush at you. And there's a high chance they're going to grab me. So anytime that happens, I'm going to donate $2 up to a maximum of... Actually, no, I'm not going to do a maximum. I'm just going to keep on doing. It's entirely possible that only a few could do it. It could be every single zombie in that game could do it. Depends on my luck. So yeah, start with, I think it's Special 2. I hope it's Special 2. Yep, I'm pretty sure it is. All right, so I'm going to start, but the timer doesn't start until we actually get into the game. So I'll count that down. So this is going to be fun. All right, so the timer's going to start in about 3, 2, 1... Bit early. Now, alrighty, so RE3 is set 2 months after the events of RE1. So the survivors of the Raccoon City mansion incident, they returned to the city, trying to warn everybody that the zombies were, being made and everything, but nobody believed them. Because surprise, surprise, the police chief was corrupt and was taking bribes from Umbrella. So he swept it all under the rug. 2 months later, there's an incident, zombie outbreak, everything's gone to hell. So now Jill has to find her way out of the city, pretty much.
Daylight.
So at this point, she's holed up with a guy named Dario, who just does not want to leave, even though Jill's like, nobody's coming to save us. We got to get out of here. So we're just going to leave him behind. And our first call of order is to make a quick pit stop to the police station to pick up her trusty lockpick. But first, need to find a key to get out of this warehouse. But yeah, as I was saying before, there's a lot of RNG in this game, specifically with enemy placements. There's some rooms where completely different enemies can spawn, depending on what RNG you get. And we're about to come up to one of those in a sec. This is the #1 point of resets because it's so early in the run. It's the basement. So we need to get down there, but first we're going to exit the room and come back in to reset the zombie positions. And now we just have to hope that the zombies are going to behave and let me through without any issue. Nice, that's not too bad. Alright, tried to get the shove on him, but it didn't work. Now I just got to hope that nobody's blocking me on the way out. Oh, and they both were. That's alright. Okay, I only took 2 bites, that's not too bad. I'll take it. Yeah, so if any zombies are going to go turbo, it's usually going to happen there. Which you don't want, because they'll just follow you down the stairs and block you completely. Never a good time. So we just got some lighter fluid, but now we need an actual lighter to use it. So we're going to come in the back here. Oh, there's 1 turbo. That's $2 right there. And we're going to meet up with Brad, the helicopter pilot from the first game. And he's all doom and gloom at the moment. He's not an optimist. He's a bit scared of this big monster that he's seen that's coming to get all the STARS members. But he's run off. We've grabbed the lighter. And now we get to make our way to the police station. Alright, coming through here. There we go. Use the lighter. Got to be slow with the menuing there because for some reason the menu is a bit laggy in that spot. Not sure why, but yeah, just that spot in particular. If you try to do it too fast, it just doesn't do what you want it to do. So now we've arrived at the police station, and we skipped the cutscene, but here comes Nemi. He's the big monster that Brad was talking about, and he's just killed Brad. So we have an option to fight him or run away. We choose to fight him, but then we run away anyway, because that's faster than the cutscene that plays if you choose to run. Alright, good RNG here. There could be a zombie on the floor there, which is really hard to dodge, but we got the good one. And a bit of a puzzle here. Alright, second try. So there's 4 different codes for that locker, and you just sort of have to brute force your way through. There is a way to find out the code, but it takes way too long to do, so, you know, just going through all 4 codes is the optimal way. Now, here comes the biggest point of RNG, which is the Magnum or the grenade launcher. If you get the grenade launcher, it's going to be a good run. If you get the Magnum, it's going to be a lot harder and a lot slower. So if you're going for a PB and you get the Magnum, you're pretty much reset. And we got the grenade launcher, so it's going to be a good run. I say that, but now you never know what's going to happen. I could get really terrible luck. So now we've got the lockpick, we've got the grenade launcher, and we just got to get one more item before we leave, which is this jewel. By the way, Nemi is relentless. He will continue chasing us through the entire game. Alright, now we just make our way outside. And we're going to be running for a bit, so if there's anything you need to plug, now is a good time.
Yeah, I'd love to read a donation here. We've got $20 from Church Grim. It says, "Let's go, Mango. One of my favorite games. Run, run, run."
Oh, I'll be running. Don't you worry.
Figure. Glad you saw the grenade launcher, too. That'll hopefully keep our $2 per turbo a little lower.
Oh, yeah, just a bit.
Not ruin our bank accounts so bad. I wanted to throw out here that we are doing this ESA Summer 21 for Save the Children. Save the Children partners with local organizations wherever possible to ensure their responses are locally driven, which allows them to build trust and gain access to hard-to-reach communities.
Yep, it's a worthy cause. Every little bit helps. And yeah, every donation is appreciated. So thank you everybody who's supporting this cause. Alright, so we see our first little drain demos here, but he's pretty easy to dodge. They can be pretty nasty when they grab you though. Alright, now there's a tricky dodge here, and is a common point for turbos, but thankfully there are none. So one thing about this game that we take advantage of sometimes is if an enemy is on a separate elevation to you, like on the stairs, you can just run past them pretty easily because they can't actually grab you. Instead, they try to vomit on you, but that's very unlikely to hit you. So there's going to be a point later on where there's a huge horde of zombies, and we just run right through the middle of them because they're on a slight slope, which is pretty convenient. And we just met up with Carlos, who's a member of the Umbrella mercenary team, who's been sent in to rescue all the civilians. Well, that's what they've been told, but there's an ulterior motive from Umbrella there. But Jill doesn't really trust him because, you know, she knows that Umbrella is behind all the zombie outbreak. But he's just said, well, look, you don't have to trust me, but if you want to survive, come meet us at this tram that we've turned into a safe house. So that's where we're going to head now. But first we have to make a pit stop in here to grab the second jewel that we need to open a gate. And unfortunately, like everything in the RE games, there is no power, so we have to turn it on first. Open up the shutter. And head on upstairs to a room full of zombies. So if I'm going to get bitten, it's probably going to happen here. But let's hope it doesn't. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. Turn. Hope that guy doesn't turbo, and no, he doesn't. Nice, he's behaving. Yeah, so the first section of the game is pretty much just like guiding you through the city area and just saying, all right, here's the layout. You're gonna come back through all this area later on and visit all these areas that couldn't access at the moment. So it's just giving you the lay of the land so that you know where to go later on. Alright, so more running. There's going to be a lot of just mindless running in this game. It's pretty much just run from point A to point B, avoid zombie X, and occasionally get the rare turbo. Right, now we could get dogs or zombies in this room. We want dogs, and we got zombies. That's alright. Just shoot this barrel, blow them up. It's a little bit slower, but it's actually safer because we just get them out of the way completely. Whereas if we get dogs, they're pretty easy to dodge, but sometimes they just troll you. Alright, now we've made it to the tram that Carlos was talking about. Met up with him again. And he's going to give us some extra inventory space and a wrench, which we need to access the areas that we couldn't get to before. If I could just actually pick it up, that'd be great. Instead of missing it. Alright, so now we backtrack through where we just came from. A lot of backtracking in the RE games. Always love it. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a tricky dodge on the way through here. Yep. There we go. Yeah, that camera angle makes things a little bit difficult. And I couldn't tell if he turboed or not. I'm going to assume that he did, because he doesn't usually bite me there. Alright, so just gotta shove these guys. Hope. Oh no, that was bad. So what you want to happen there is you push the first guy and he knocks all the others over. But unfortunately, he didn't knock any of them over. So that was just really bad. So now I'm in caution status, which is when you drop below half health. So Jill is a little bit slower. And I do have a first aid spray to heal myself up, but I have to go through that area again later. So I'm going to wait until the second time around before I actually heal up. So that when I do heal, I'm going to be at full health and I don't have to worry about getting damaged again. Alright, so we got the book from the statue, and now we need to replace it with this compass. What that does is turns the statue around to reveal a car battery. Why there's a car battery in a statue of the mayor, I have no idea. But there's a lot of weird things like that in Raccoon City. Oh, this guy's on the move. And we just run past him because, as I said before, if they're on a different elevation to you, they can't grab you. Unless you run directly into them. Alright, now let's hope they behave this time around. Oh, there's another turbo. Now, we shoot these guys, and that usually manipulates them into moving to the side. Oh, nah, he grabbed me. Alright, now we can heal up, and everything is fine and dandy. Back up to full health. Don't have to worry again for a little while. Now, I hope you've been keeping track of the turbos, because I have already lost count.
I want to say it's 4?
Sounds about right, yeah.
If you count that one that you counted.
Yep.
I can drop in here with a donation as well, if you'd like.
Yeah, now's a good time.
Sure. We have $25 from our last runner, Lord Fluffy, who hopefully everyone got to see that crazy Titanfall 2 run. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
Fluffy says, I'm so glad that ESA gave me the opportunity to run Titanfall 2 at this event. Shoutouts to the staff, tech, and readers for putting on a great event, and shoutouts to Bry for being an amazing co-commentating partner. Put this towards naming the Chimchar Bidoof, as I love memes. And a check-in on that bid war. Bidoof is pulling up there, $272. Keyseron coming in second place with $130. So if you want to see Keys get up there into number 1, you got to put some money towards that.
Alrighty. So just saw before that big horde of zombies that I just ran through. That's the one I was talking about. That is, it looks really scary, but if you just run along the side of them, they can't grab you. It's pretty convenient. And we've just grabbed the first item that we need to get the tram running, which is the fuse. And we could have actually... So if we got a Magnum run, we could have actually grabbed the grenade launcher there, because the weapon that you don't get in the STARS office spawns in another room in that area. But it takes way too long to grab, so if you get the Magnum, you may as well just roll with it. So heading all the way back to near the start now, to the pharmacy. There's going to be another RNG puzzle, one of everybody's favorites, the pharmacy computer, which has 3 different passcodes that it could be. It could be Safsprin, Adravil, or Aquacure. Aquacure is the least likely, but, you know, if you're getting a trolley run, it's usually going to be that. So hopefully it's Safsprin, which is the most likely to be. But we'll see. So first we need this fire hose so that we can actually put out the fire to get to the pharmacy. And hoping for dogs here. Yep, we got dogs. So it could be dogs or zombies here. The zombies are slightly harder to dodge, but not really too much of a problem. But dogs sort of just... Dogs are free in this game. Not like the remake where everybody says they're free, but they're not really. Alright, so coming up to the pharmacy now. And I usually wouldn't do it, but there is a safety first aid spray that I'm going to grab here. Because, you know, marathon luck, it's real. Alright, now, hoping for Safsprin. Nope. Adravil. Nice. Okay, it wasn't Aquacure. That's all that matters. Aquacure is the slowest to type in, which is why I hate doing it. Alright, so now we come into this cool room to get the second item that we need, which is some oil additive. And now we just need 2 more items. The actual oil itself and a jumper cable. But first we got to shove our way through these zombies here. Which is another big RNG point. Alright. Oh. Okay, that wasn't too bad. But again, I picked up the safety fast, just in case. Which I will have to use now because I actually won't have enough inventory space if I don't get rid of it. So, yeah, this game is pretty daunting to pick up if you're new to it. But the good thing about it is there are tons of healing items throughout the game. So it's actually, you know, you can get screwed over by enemy placements quite a lot. But there's plenty of healing items to get you through. And yeah, so now there's just more running, so now's another good time for any plugs if you've got any. Cool.
Yeah, sure. I did mention the Pokemon Diamond donation incentive, but we actually have one coming up much sooner. We have our category bid war for Octopath Traveler, with Hanet in the lead with $500 even. So if you want to see any of the other options here, Tressa or Terrian or Ophelia, you have to get donations in pretty quickly. I was hoping for an Ophelia run. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, but a Tressa run would be nice to see too.
All right. So, I messed up that line there. By all rights, I should have been bitten by that zombie, but he was playing nice. So that was very considerate of him there. All right, so coming back through here. Oh, there's another turbo. So that's, oh, and another one, up to 6. So we drop in here, grab the crank, which we need in order to access the gas station where we get the last item that we need before we can head to the clock tower. Alright, now there's a tricky dodge here. Oh. Ah, damn it. I was just a little bit too wide on that one. So yeah, you sort of like duck into that little alcove to get them moving. And then you got just the tiniest space to squeeze through. But I kind of messed up the line. Use the crank and, oh no, crank's broken. So I've got another puzzle coming up here, which gave me a lot of trouble as a kid when I first played this game. Basically, you have to put out all the lights on the console except for the one that's lit up. It's really hard. That's the logic behind solving this puzzle quickly. Before that, I had to use a cheat sheet. Well, that was... took a little bit long to do that one, but got to it. Yeah, I always had to use a cheat sheet when I was running this. With all the solutions. There's 10 different patterns, and it chooses 3 of them. But Wolf DNC made a fantastic tutorial, which just made me go, oh, it's so easy. So, if you're having trouble with that puzzle, definitely check out that tutorial. Nemi, please, thank you. Alright, now... Alright, that guy was a little bit out of the way. And we're gonna meet a future boss here. Hope nobody's afraid of worms. Especially ones with big teeth, because, yeah, this one's pretty nasty. You can do a lot of damage to you if you're not careful. Oh, that was close. So just press those 2 switches and drop the ladder, then get out of there. You can actually fight him there, but there's really no point. It just makes the boss fight later on easier, but, you know, we can just do the boss fight on its own. Alright, so now we use all the items here. Mix the oil. And the jumper cable. And now we're on our way to the clock tower. But we've heard a noise in the back. And Nemi's back again. But we just turn around and run away. We let Mikhail deal with it. So Mikhail just blew himself up with a grenade, which also took out the brakes of the tram. So we have the option to use the emergency brakes, but we're going to do the more sensible option.
It's useless.
Which is to dive headfirst out a closed window, out of a speeding train. And you just got a bump on the noggin. It's fine. Jill's fine. She can take it. And now we are at the clock tower. The everybody's favourite part from the remake. So we got early powders here, which is what you want. So, which means that we can fill up our inventory, which allows us to skip a pretty short cutscene. But it is a small time save. So Carlos is going to try and give us some ammo, but we don't need it, so we get to skip that because our inventory is full. Yep, and we just say goodbye. And now we've got to mix the powders. Taking my time with this because if you mess it up, you're not getting the freeze rounds, and good luck fighting Nemi. Because you do not have the necessary ammo to finish the fight. Yeah, freeze rounds are really effective against Nemi, which is pretty handy. Because it hits him and then it does like a kind of damage over time effect. Alright, so we're going to pick up that weapon on the floor later, which is the mine thrower. Kind of useless throughout the game, but it really works well on the final boss fight. So we're not going to grab it just yet. Alright, heading up to the clock tower for another puzzle, the music box. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 changes. So the solution is always up, down, up, down, up, but the starting position of the pegs is randomized. Alright, so first one goes up. There we go. So if you mess that up at all, it's a about a 12-second time loss, because every time you move a peg, it plays that that part of the tune. And you can't skip that. So if you mess it up, you have to sit through that and then move back to the right position and sit through it again. So you want to be careful with that. That gives us the second part of a key that we need to get to another puzzle. Lots of puzzles in this area. But first, we got Nemi again. And we have the option to electrocute him or push him off the edge, but we're going to push him off the edge because that makes the boss fight a little bit easier for the strat we're going to use. So if we electrocute him, he doesn't have his rocket launcher for the fight, but we want him to have the rocket launcher so that he stays at range. Because when he punches you... Oh, that's right. Got to mix the key. Yeah, when he punches you, it really hurts. So you don't want that. Alright, so I've got to pay attention to the clock on the way through. And it's 5 o'clock. So there's 4 different positions the clock can start in, with a different solution for each one. And that's Amber, Obsidian, and Crystal. Now, this puzzle gave me so much trouble on my first playthrough because I could not... Like, I still don't know the logic behind how you're supposed to solve it. It's pretty much a matter of just trial and error, trying all the different combinations until you get the right one. To my knowledge, there's actually no hints towards how to solve it. At least, yeah, not that I know of. I never found any. I haven't heard of any. So I really don't know how the puzzle is supposed to work. But if you're speedrunning, you try to memorize all the solutions. Alright, so coming up to the Nemi boss fight. Equip that grenade launcher. Alright, so we've just signaled the rescue helicopter, but as I said before, Nemi has a rocket launcher and he's going to use it. So he's just blown up the chopper, and he's just infected Jill with a virus. Alright, hitting him at just the right time to make him miss his shots. Alright, that was a pretty good shot, only one hit. So now Jill is infected, and we're going to play as Carlos for a little bit.
Jill! October 1st, night. I woke up
Yeah,
to the sound
so
of falling rain.
a little bit of downtime, so now's another good time for any plugs you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a donation in here from Mikozy Q, $33. I said it's 33. Resident Evil 3 at 3 a.m. seems about right. So here's my $33.
Nice.
I also wanted to mention that that $33 can go a long way for Save the Children. With just $10, Save the Children can buy malaria pills for 20 children. So that would make 60 children with malaria pills. A lot of life-saving possibilities there.
Yeah, every little bit helps. Alright, so Carlos is going to have to search the city for a hospital. And, oh, look, there's one right next door. How convenient. So he's just decided, yeah, I'm going to search a hospital. Surely there's a vaccine there. He knows a little bit of chemistry, so surely he can make his own. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And we meet one of the iconic enemies of the Resident Evil series, the Hunters. You never want to be in caution status around them because they will one-hit kill you. Yeah, if you're in caution status, that triggers their one-hit kill attack. And once they start it, even if you then heal up to full health before they hit you, it will still kill you instantly. And it's pretty hard to dodge. Alright, hoping for no zombies. Oh, we got the zombies. Alright. So the zombies can appear on one of 3 levels here. And you don't want them to be here because now I'm going to have to dodge around them, which can be pretty tricky. Especially if they turbo, which happens quite a bit. So let's just hope that they don't. Okay, behaving so far. Alright, so we take a quick duck into that room, And that tells us all we need to know to solve this puzzle. So we got a quick look at where the cabinet was. Push it, Carlos. And we need to push this cabinet to the side that is mirrored to the one that we saw. So we saw it on the left-hand corner, so we need to push it to the right-hand corner. And each corner is assigned to a different code. So the one we need is 325. And done. All right, now the way out is a little bit tricky. Oh, all right, now don't get close to the door. Okay. If they get too close to the door, you just straight up can't close the door until you kill them, which is never a good time. All right, more hunters in here, but thankfully these ones are pretty easy to dodge. All right, chuck the vaccine base in there. And yeah, of course, Carlos knows how to use this complicated medical machinery. Yep, so the solution is always 1, 3, and A. One of the few puzzles that aren't randomized. So now we've got both parts of the vaccine, so we can head back and save Jill. But first we've got to just dodge past this guy. And bait this guy out. And hopefully it blew up the other one. Yep, nice. Oof. Yeah, they're nasty when they jump at you. Alright, and Nikolai, Carlos's sergeant, turns out he's a bad guy. So the Umbrella mercenaries were actually sent in the city to gather data on the combat effectiveness of zombies. So they were basically sent in to be slaughtered. Carlos didn't realize that, but now he knows. And Nikolai was one of the few people responsible for orchestrating that. So he's a villain. So we've got to take care of him later. But now Nemi's back and he's taken his shirt off. So that means he means business now. He's got extra tentacles. It's more dangerous, but we just run past him. Mix the vaccine together. And now we're back to Jill. And we don't need the reloading tool anymore, so we grab it for the knife, which we're going to need for the second last boss fight. And again, we just run past him. Alright, picking up that mine thrower. I've forgotten to pick this up so many times. Never a good time when you're on a PB pace. Alright. So now we're making our way to the park, just outside. Which is the second last area of the game. And there's a few different types of enemies that can spawn in this area. Most of them doesn't really matter, but there's one in particular that can spawn hunters, and you really don't want that. Okay, we got hunters here, which is what you want, because they're easy to dodge on the bridge. But this area here is where you don't want them. Okay, we got dogs, that's good. Yeah, the dogs are good boys when they spawn here. Unless you're not careful. Alright, so run around the outside. Oh, okay. Oof, come on. Alright, that was not good. That very rarely happens. Alright, coming up to another puzzle here. The cog puzzle. Alright. You gotta be really careful with that puzzle, because if you press a cog the wrong way, it's a really huge time loss, because you have to sit through this huge animation of the fountain going in a certain pattern. And then you have to do it all again. So you got to make sure you do it right the first time. Alright, so we get a small glimpse at the worm again. So he's going to be coming back in a second. But first we have to make our way to this cabin. Just to grab a key that we need to exit this whole area. Alright, so we grab this thing. Then we need these two in order to make acid rounds, which are really effective against the worm. First we use the lighter. And there is a safety first aid spray in here that I will need to pick up. I usually wouldn't, but those two hunters mess me up quite a bit, so gonna play it safe. Right, now mix these two together. There we go. Alright, grab this key. Grab the key, Jill. Thank you. Some of the item hitboxes are really weird and easy to miss. Alright, so Nikolai's just showed up, being a bad guy, as usual. And then he heard the worm coming, so he's gone and buggered off. Alright, so, the worm. Alright, so basically all you got to do, fire as many shots as you can before he burrows underground. Alright, now we have to bait out a few attacks from him. Come on. Oh, he's not behaving. Oh, there's one. I'm gonna use this because I'm almost dead. Oof. Alright, so he can rise from 3 to 5 times. And we've got 4 times, which isn't too bad. Alright, and he's down. It is entirely possible to get him before he burrows, which is the 1 cycle. But in order to do that, you have to get lucky and get the right pattern that he moves slowly. And also you have to nail every single quick shot with a grenade launcher. You can't drop one. Which I've just realized I haven't actually explained quick shooting. Quick shooting is a thing in all the original RE games. It sort of exists in some of the others as well, in certain forms. But basically, if you hold down the aim button, and then hold down fire, let go of aim and hit aim again at the right frame after you shoot, you will fire again immediately, instead of waiting for the animation to finish. So, on the PC, it's pretty easy to just spam aim, and that will usually hit the right moment. Oh, these dogs are not behaving. Yeah, if you just spam aim with the keyboard, you're probably going to hit the quick shot. But if you miss it, you drop your aim completely, which is, yeah, not good.
Stars.
So, yeah, to get that 1 cycle worm, you have to hit every single quick shot without dropping any of them. I've been running this game for about 2 years now, and I have only ever done the 1 cycle 3 times in total. So, yeah, that gives you an idea of how rare it is to actually get it. Alright, so now we're in the final area of the game. And we've got a little steam puzzle that we need to press these switches in the right order. But we can just, like, force our way through this little bit of steam here and hit the button that we're not supposed to press. So yeah, we're supposed to go around this whole room pressing all these different buttons until we turn them all off, but, you know, we can just brute force it. Alright, so coming in through here, grab the Mo disc, leave this room to reset the zombie positions, and that will let us just like run straight for the elevator. If we don't reset the positions, they're all gathered around the elevator, so it's pretty tough to work our way through. If you're playing on console, it is actually quicker to do it that way, but on PC, because you can skip the door cutscenes. Nice. Okay, we got worms here. We can get hunters here, which, because it's such a narrow corridor, they can just stun lock you into oblivion. But yeah, worms is what you want there. Alright, so one more puzzle before we finish the game. First aid spray first, just for safety. High-low, that is left 1, left 2, right 2. The only puzzle that I've not memorized because I just can't wrap my head around it. So I still need to use a cheat sheet for this one. Alright, left 1, left 2, right 2. Left 1. Left 2. Oh, whoops. Okay. If you accidentally hit the thing before you meant to, it's a bit of a time loss because it plays that little jingle. Alright, now we got it. Okay, so now we have to make our way back up to the trash room, which is now unlocked. So now is another good time for some plugs, if there are any.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of donations here. One, another $20 from Church Grim. Props to Mango with the commentary and maintaining focus. Keep running.
Oh, I will.
And then 25 from some guy, Taylor. I'm going to try this out. I don't think I've done this since I was a kid. Stars.
Stars.
And that was $25 to the Air Control 100% donation incentive.
Fantastic. All right, so we're coming up to the trolliest fight in the whole game. You'll notice that I've got the knife equipped. That's because the most optimal strat is to use the knife to... so there's a bunch of acid valves littered around the trash room. And I think it was Wolf DNC who came up with this strat. But if you time it specifically, like time each hit right, you can just lure him into each acid valve like really easily. But the timing is so specific and the positioning is so specific as well. So I have to wait for a couple of different sound cues for each valve. I'll explain it because I've really got to concentrate on this and hope it goes well. Wish me luck. Oof. Uh-oh. Nice. All right. Oh, that had me going for a second because I thought I messed up the second valve. So the first valve you hit when you hear his second footstep. The second valve you hit when he says stars. And then the third valve, you sort of have to play it by ear. You got to like pay attention to how he's moving. Yeah, if I mess up a valve, it's usually the third one. But whew, that felt good to get that right. I ran this at the Australian Speedrun Marathon a couple of weeks ago, and I actually died there, so it feels good to actually do it right. Alright, so... Oh, and there's another turbo. That's 7. Oh, yep. Take a bite. Go ahead. That's alright. That's what we've got the safety first aid sprays for. Alright, now here, there's another slope, which allows us to run right past these zombies. But they can be in a position where you just can't run past them. That is called getting super gamered, because the runner super gamer was on a world record pace once, and unfortunately got the bad positioning there, and lost the entire run. Alright, so now we're heading towards the final boss fight. So there's this massive railgun here. I know there's a lore reason behind it, but I don't know. I can't remember why. But it's here, and that's handy because we're going to need it. But again, like everything in RE, doesn't have power, so we need to go around and push all these batteries in first. So head back to the first battery, push it in, and hope nothing nasty comes out to try and kill us. Uh-oh. Well, so much for that. Yeah, Nemi's he's looking a bit different now. He's gone full Tetsuo from Akira. He's starting to mutate beyond control. So now we just got to push the other 2 batteries in and then lure him into the railgun. Ordinarily, it will take 2 shots to kill him with a railgun, but if you deal enough damage to him first, it only takes 1 shot. So if I don't get the 1 cycle, it's not a huge deal. It's just a 20-second time loss. Oh, and he's jumped down at the wrong spot. Okay, he jumped down early, which is going to make this a little bit more difficult than usual. All right. Whoop. Getting the quick shots on the mine thrower. Oh, and I hope he doesn't trap me here. All right, all good. Whoop. Okay. Heal up just for safety. Alright, so I'm hoping that's dealt enough damage. Sometimes you can just completely miss the damage because there's some weird hitboxes on this arena. Sometimes you can just hit the wall and not realize it. Alright, so I'm hoping this has done it. Fingers crossed. Yes, there we go. We got him. Alright, so now we get one final option before we finish the game, which is run away, which is the faster option, but I'm gonna do the slower option, but yeah, we're gonna see the coolest cutscene and one of the coolest lines in Resident Evil. Yeah, we're gonna give him stars. All right, sit back and enjoy. Jill being an absolute legend.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
There we go. And now Nemi is down for good. All right, so time is going to come up in a second. All right, that's the end of the game. So time in right now. All right, that is the end of the run. That went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how that went. So, yeah. Yeah, thanks to the ASA crew for letting me showcase this game. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for everybody who donated. And yeah, back to you, man.
Thanks, Mango. That was great. That was awesome. So 7 turbos was our total?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. We'll be sure to throw that into the till at the end.
Absolutely.
Great. So thanks so much, Mango. Great run of Resident Evil 3. Up next, we have a race of Octopath Traveler between Quadriceps and Sunny Muffin. So be sure to tune in for that one. We'll be right back.